have the main processes that will be forming the cellular respiration. Cellular respiration, in order to be fully covered, once again, let's repeat here, in order to understand what will be the general equation. You want oxygen, you want glucose, in order to form, or in order to get water, and oxygen, and carbon dioxide, and ATP. So this is the general equation. In order to get the entire products of cellular respiration, one should pass by the 5 main processes one by one. None of them can be skipped. Glycolysis followed by link reaction followed by Krebs cycle followed by electron transport chain followed by chemiosmosis. If we start to recognize the structure of the mitochondria, you would remember that it's a double membrane structure. This is the outer membrane. This is the outer membrane. And then you have some sort of folding inner membrane, a folded inner membrane. And then you have between the outer and the inner, you have the intermembrane. And then within the inner membrane, you have a part called the matrix. So this is the matrix. Okay, but actually we don't draw it like this in terms of IB. You just highlight and say that this is the matrix. Okay. Each of those processes have a specific location. In glycolysis, you know that this is the mitochondria which is suspended in the cytoplasm of the cell. So surrounding the mitochondria, you have cytoplasm. All the external parts, cytoplasm of this cell. So glycolysis actually happens within cytoplasm itself. And then the product of glycolysis will manage to go to the mitochondria, where specifically within the matrix. So here, within the matrix, we have the link reaction. Once again, the products of the link reaction will be inside the matrix in order to perform something called the Krebs cycle. So here, once again, inside the matrix. Now, the products of Krebs cycle will go to the inner membrane in order to perform electron transport chain and chemiosmosis. Actually, with the electron transport chain and chemiosmosis, inner membrane and outer membrane matrix, they are all working together, but the precise location is the inner membrane. And when it comes to explaining electron transport chain and chemiosmosis, you will know how the intermembrane and the matrix are working together. Right. Let's start with glycolysis. Glycolysis, in order to be fully performed, or let's find the entire overall amount of carbon. In glycolysis, you start with 6 carbon atom. And within this 6 carbon atom, which is mainly formed of the glucose 6 carbon atom, 6 carbon, you have to change it into 3 carbon atoms. 3 carbon atoms. Each one of them is called pyruvate. Pyruvate. Another name for pyruvate is pyruvic acid. Pyruvic acid. So you started with 6C and with 3 C's. Each one of them is called pyruvate. Then, link reaction will actually start with the 3C that have been produced from glycolysis. So you start with 3C, ended with 2C. And you have 2 3Cs, so each one of them will start the link reaction on its own. Now you have 3C ended to a 2C. Once you have 2C, you can start the Krebs cycle. By starting the Krebs cycle, those 2C will be added to them 4C coming from the matrix. We'll discuss this in detail. It will form something called 6C. Are those 6C identical to the 6C we started glycolysis with? No, they are not the same. They are an intermediate compound, unstable compound. This is glucose, but this is another molecule called citric acid. Citric acid. So you started with 6C glucose, ended with, so far, 6C citric acid. Citric acid will continue the cycle until it gets another 2C The products of the Krebs cycle will start the ATC. The product over here, nothing regarding carbons. We ended the amount of carbons, but we have products from the cycle. The products of the cycle are NAD, H, and FAD, H2. If you have NADH and FADH2, you will later on be able to perform and get the ATP within the process called chemiosmosis. This is generally speaking what's really happening within the cellular respiration.